Hey y'all, what's good? It's your girl Daisha coming at y'all with a YouTube video. I hope you guys are doing amazing today, and I hope you guys are having such a blessed day. Let me say that, a blessed week, a blessed day, whatever it is that you want, I hope that you get it. Today, I want to talk about how poverty is a mindset frame that you guys are basically, let me say, given, right? You're basically programmed with the poverty mindset, where in this case, where a lot of you guys are afraid to go further with your life, right? And I know somebody would probably be like, what? How can poverty be a mindset? How can poverty be programmed? Let me say this: poverty, living in poverty, gives you less access to things that you need, right? It gives you less access to healthy food, to great health care, to freedom, right? So think about it like this. If everybody had freedom, there wouldn't be any workers. There wouldn't be people you can use in that certain type of way, because people are willing to do anything to get those bills paid, to get money, right? It's the desperation of wanting money, not because you just want money. Some people may have a greed for money, but some people only want that money badly because they need the money to get by, right? You need money to survive. You need money to live your life. You need money to pay those bills, or you and your kids is going to be put out on side the street. So it's so many things that come into play when you think about money and poverty and the mindset, in a way that no one understands that money is very spiritual. Money is spiritual because it's a transfer with energy, right? When you're working for money, you are transferring your time for energy, and you have to change the way that you think about money. The What I would say is, like, when you think about money, you have to think about it as a tool, right? You can't think about it as if it's just like something that you need, or you can't think about it as if it is the root to evil. And when people say money is the root to evil, I would say that you are misquoting the Bible. The Bible said the love of money is the root to all evil. He never said that once you have money, it is going to be the root of evil. He never said that. It is the love of money that would have you doing things that you shouldn't be doing. And I would say this: that's like saying poverty is the root of evil. If you want me to be quite frank, honest, because when you're in poverty, you do things for money just to survive. Do you know the things that people do for money? The things that they wouldn't even speak about, or having them, let me say, rearranging their morals just to get by. Poverty is truly, in my opinion, the root of evil, because I wouldn't be doing these things if I didn't need the money, right? So you want to change the way that you think about money. You want to make sure it's used as a tool and not as if it's a barrier to your life. And I would say you got to hate poverty. You got to dislike it strongly, to the point that you would not even go back to poverty. Right. So you want to change the way you think about it. And when you think about poverty, you don't want to think about it as if I'm broke because I'm a good person. People have that mindset as well. They be like, well, good people always broke. That's a lie. That's a lie. Okay. You have to change your mindset. Some people can't help the fact that they were born into poverty, because the person before them didn't make it their business to make some changes, to make some sacrifices, so their generations after them would not be dealing with the things that they dealt with. To many, many do not know that being in poverty is also a spiritual warfare, meaning that the things that you're going through is also a spiritual attack. When it comes to certain things, health, finances, it's a spiritual attack that many people may not know that they are in, and it comes from generations as well. It's not because you just can't make it out. It's just something that you have to fight, a battle that you have to fight, as far as you moving smart with your money and not being afraid to make those changes to get the money. That's like, for example, when you are in poverty, a lot of people sacrifice their dreams and their time. You don't have enough time to actually go work on your purpose to build something, right? So you settle for a regular job that only pays you enough to get by, but not enough to make it out of poverty. A job is also not something that you want to use to get out of poverty. It's used for the moment to get you the little things from here and there. If you really want to escape poverty, you really have to consider the things that you're doing and what you're giving your time to in exchange for money. Have you ever heard the saying that you need to let your money work for you and not you working for the money? You have to start learning how to work your money instead of you doing all the work, or you're going to be burnt out and tired by a certain age. I, I would say this refers to the conversation around people who save versus investments, right? I understand that those are rainy days and things may happen and things change. You can save your money. However, you need to learn how to invest as well. You can save as much money as you want, but scare money don't make no money. Holding on tight to a dollar will not keep you wealthy. It's the investments that you make. You can put a money to the side, but you can put your money to the side, but the real conversation that we need to have is how to invest that money. People win so much money and gain so much money, and then sooner or later they lose it. How do they lose this money? They lose this money because they depend on the money that they have saved to keep them safe. And that's not the case, because when you run out of that saved money, and what if whatever job that you're looking for is not working out anymore, then what do you do at that point? The money that you have saved is no longer going to be your clutch anymore, right? So it's going to turn into that time where the money that you need to invest it. So at that time, in that point, if you don't need the money at the moment, you could save a certain interest, a certain percentage, but then after a while, you need to start finding ways to invest that money. How do you invest that money? You find a business, you put it in stocks, you will learn ways that you can multiply that money and it gains interest, so it could be multiplying and coming back to you. And not only at that moment, but that money can last generations. So especially if you have a child or anything like that, your child can have something to land on as well when something happened to you and time go by. So you want to be smart about the way you are investing your money and spending your money, and where is your money gone. So that's why I say that poverty is a mindset, because different people who are born in different situations see money differently, versus somebody who was born into a rich home and who always had money to fall back on. They don't see no problem investing their money or having their money to spend anywhere. It doesn't bother them, versus someone who came from a poverty home, who was always told to save for rainy days, right? Seeing their mother or their father working 2 to 3 jobs just to make it. So it's like every time they get a dollar, they save it instead of investing it. But then you have somebody who seen their mother or their father, they was working, however they also seen their mother or their father invest their money into something that they really wanted as far as their business. So when they seen that happen and they invested their money into that business, they seen the money multiply. Not only did they have money put up and saved up, but they seen them multiply that money. That person, the kid who grew up in that home, learns the concept of investing the money instead of just keeping it safe. Do you see what I'm saying? Three different kids, 3 different homes, and they learned how to handle their money in different ways based on what they seen, their environment, their mother, their father, their background. It all depends on what you know, what did you see, how did you grow up. So it's like a psychology of money. Do you understand me? So it's like you have to understand how to become in control of your money. You have to learn how to see it as a tool, as an investment, and not as something that's going to hinder you. So when I say you need to hate poverty, you need to hate it enough to understand that you never want to go back to it. You don't want to just spend your life in poverty, scared to invest your money, scared to spend your money because of the things that you've been through or that you have seen. So when I say investing your money, you need to understand that saving your money for rainy days is not going to be the only thing that's going to get you by. It's going to be the investment that you have with money. And when you hate poverty, you need to understand that poverty does hinder you from doing anything. It hinders you from healthy food, good health, free time. The most wealthiest person is the person who has free time. They don't have to put up with anything for money. They don't have to deal with anything just because they need the money. They get to leave and come when they please because their time is precious. And you know what gives them free time? Them having money. So at that point, you have to understand that money is not only there to help you get the flyest clothes, the fastest car, the biggest house, because that's what people think money is about, right? No, money is about your free time. Money is about having free will. Money is about having the confidence to be yourself and do anything with your time as you please. Being able to buy healthy food, being able to afford health care, being able to live your life better. That's why I say you have to look at money as a tool, because the way that tool can work can save your life and free up so much time that you have. You don't have to waste your time anymore just because you need the money. You can go and come as you please. So now you can live life better. You can have a car that lasts longer instead of it keep breaking down because you don't have the money to afford it. And I would like to say this as well. You have to think about poverty as being expensive, because I don't I would say it like this. This will flip your mindset. Poverty is the most expensive thing that you can ever live in. Like, being poor costs you more than anything. So when you sit there and you start to change your perspective, change your mindset, and start thinking about, wait a second, that is true. Because it's like, for example, you can get the cheapest tissue with 4 rolls in there, and that 4 rolls can go through quickly, versus you buying a 12 pack of rolls for like what? I could say maybe those 12 pack of rolls was like between $6 and $12. That 12 pack of rolls will last you longer than those 4 pack of rolls, instead of you constantly going back to the store to buy more. You have to really think about it that way, because being poor is expensive. They don't tell you that, because they like to tell you like, money, having money causes so many problems, money this and that. That's because people get money and they choose to spend it the wrong way. When you get more money, it's not about you again having the most fastest car, the biggest house. You know, people get money and choose to do the wrong things with their money. That's why they said the love of money is the root of evil. And it's like it amplifies your character. You have people who choose to do evil things with their money, and you have people who choose to do better with their money, donate to charity, being fruitful because they have the money to give. So that saying, when they be like, oh, money brings problems as well, if you don't spend it right, yes. Because either way it go, you're going to have problems, rich or poor. You just have to choose your struggle. You just really have to choose your struggle. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'd rather be wealthy dealing with my issues than being in poverty and being stressed out and losing my mind trying to think about how I'm going to pay the next bill, living from check to check here and there. So that goes back to the conversation as well. When people drink away their problems or they eat away their problems, gluttonous also causes you to stay in poverty, because guess what? You don't have anything else to do but eat, because you're broke, you're stressing. What does it do? You're trying to find a way to get out of your stress, and drinking away your last dollar, you at the bottom of the bottle at the bar. And I know you're probably thinking like, well, I need to escape reality. The only reality that you need to escape is trying to build one so you won't have to escape it. That's the problem. That's the issue. And you ever wonder why they don't make drinking illegal? It's a program. So just think about it like this. The poverty mindset that you have is the one hindering you from your success. Poverty mindset meaning drinking and gluttonous and not making any money to get a better life, better food, better health, anything that you may need that is a plus in life. You need to start treating your money as if it's a tool. Start investing so you can get the better things in life. Clear mindset, better access to better health, better access to food, better access to your free time and your will, so that way you can start investing your money and flipping your money the right way. That's like somebody who wins the lottery. You think somebody who win a lottery wins it because they are financially educated? No. They win that money, right? You ever think about how that's the case if anybody who gets rich, they keeps their money, right? No. This is why poverty is a mindset. When you get the money, you don't spend it because you have it. You don't go buy multiple cars and clothes and shoes. No. You can get by with affordable things, affordable car that won't break down, affordable house, and you go from there. But after that, you sit there and you invest your money. Everything that you have is an investment. The car, the clothes, the shoes, the house, the business. Think of everything as an investment. Would this help me save? Would this help me multiply? Or is this just something for status that I'm trying to prove to people that I have money? Which is why if somebody wins the lottery, if they don't have financial education, they don't have anything to show for it in 2 to 3 years or maybe 5 years. It depends on how long they hold on close to that money. Some may spend their money and go straight through it, or some of them just put it up for saving because they're afraid of the rainy days. And remember, scared money don't make no money. So if you're scared to spend that money because you're scared of financial issues, I have something to tell you. You're more likely to get into those financial issues if you're just saving for a rainy day, scared of poverty because you're scared that something is going to go wrong. Versus somebody who wins the lottery and they invest that money. They invest that money, they save some money, and they get things that can only be in investments to them and something that they actually need. And 5 to 10 years later, 30 years come down the line, they have something to show for it because they were smart with their money. That's like people who come across fast money. When people get fast money, they spend it fast instead of investing it. They get money, they don't learn how to invest it. They want to show that they got status. They want to show people that they have it instead of being smart with their money and investing it and flipping it so it could last for a lifetime in generations to come. So I hope that this conversation helped you. But let me tell you again, poverty is a mindset. It's not about being scared to lose money or status or anything like that. The lies that they told you that money is the root to evil. No. Change your perspective, change your mindset. Educate yourself about finances. There is psychology behind money. So as long as you learn to actually work your money and stop working for the money, so you can sooner or later start to attract the money, start to invest the money, you will see that all of this can be turned around for the better. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and come back for more. Have a great day.